You're going to have to be quite smart when it comes to the actual month of December 2021. I can see very clearly that you are going to be working towards something so important to you, something so significant to you. There is a very really distinctive part of your life that is going to be quite obvious in between the 11th and the 17th of December 2021 in particular, because by that moment in time you are going to have a really important information, and that information is going to be completely connected to what I just said. You will be working on something really important, but then again at the same time that information that you're going to have in between the 11th and the 17th of December, it's really going to open your eyes. You need to make sure, you must make sure that, you know, to follow your intuition, because somebody is going to try to kind of take an advantage of you. Somebody is going to see a little bit of goodness within you. You know, I'm not saying that you haven't got a goodness within you, but I'm just saying that somebody is just going to kind of be really focusing on the goodness within you, and you must not let that person to, you know, steal your energy, because I think that you have to be really, really careful. You are going to be kind of in all this with a really good heart, you know, really optimistic, and you are just going to be thinking about something so important to you that you really need to do, because this is going to be a huge step that you are going to make, but at the same time somebody else is going to be involved in here, you know, and that other person that is going to be involved with this situation, I need you to be careful about. So on another hand, if there is somebody that you don't trust, if there is somebody that you kind of are not too sure about, if there is somebody that you feel, you know, around you, especially who you're working with or trying to achieve something, because you need to understand that that specific person is somehow going to be connected to what you are doing, what you are trying to achieve, but somehow they're just going to kind of like place themselves right in the middle of the road, and it's just going to change your plans a little bit. And first of all, it's going to seem like, oh yeah, you know, like maybe this is the right thing, but then again something is just going to be keeping like awakening within you, and it is going to kind of be quite confusing, because you're going to think that this is something that you need to do, you know, but then on another hand you will be able to see things through because of your own power, because of your own intuition, because of your own ability to actually naturally read in between the lines. Something is not going to be right, something is not going to seem like quite clear, and that is most certainly going to become super evident when it comes to the actual last week of December 2021. So if there is somebody, you know, that kind of like manifests on your path, and I'm not saying that this person is just going to come out of the blue. This person could come most certainly out of the blue. But on another hand, there could be like a very strong karmic connection with this particular person. But you need to understand, this person is holding their mask on. And behind the mask is something completely different. And they're going to try to take an advantage of you. So this is why you just need to kind of take one step at a time. In between the 11th and the 17th of December in particular, you know, if somebody's trying to rush you towards something, if somebody is asking you to do something that doesn't make sense, if somebody is kind of saying something that doesn't make sense, you know, you just need to understand that this is going to be quite a rush time indeed. But on another hand, you need to understand, in order to focus on your own balance, you just need to take one step at a time and take it easy, take it slowly, because there is a lot that is actually going to change and unfold by the end of December 2021 that is gonna help you realize, you know, it's just something that you wanted to do, and now, you know, there is going to be like the forces from the outside that are going to try to kind of influence you and impact you not to do in that particular way. So this is why you just have to follow your intuition, because very soon you're going to find out something about that specific person or that specific group of people that they didn't have a clear mind in terms of trying to take an advantage of it. You're absolutely right. What you're thinking about, it's absolutely correct. what you're thinking about is completely honest, and this is the past that I'm talking about. So if something doesn't make sense, you need to understand that someone's mask is going to be fallen, and that other person is going to require something from you, but they can do things in the the other way around. So this is why I say that this is so important, my gorgeous Virgolini, indeed, when it comes to the month of December 2021. Okay, so now you've got the Emperor here. This is a very important moment in time, because you are gonna start such an amazing progress this month, my gorgeous Virgolini. Finally, things are gonna start moving on, and most certainly, you see this, it's all about the actual satisfaction. It's all about you doing things, you feeling things. What do you need to do? What do you need to create? What do you need to make in your life? Which step do you need to kind of go forward when it comes to your life in order to achieve the actual success? You have got all the answers within, and this is really important indeed. And then on another hand, you just need to remember to be quick and to be sharp with those things, only those things that make sense to you. Okay, but if something doesn't make sense, then most certainly you need to move on. But this month a lot is going to change. My name is Sasha Bonasin, and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Virgolini, and it's for December 2021. So this monthly horoscope tarot card focus is for you, my gorgeous Virgos, and it's for December 2021. This month a lot is going to change. You need to understand that the number in numerology when it comes to the whole month of December is number 78. This is a powerful number in so many different ways. On one hand, there is going to be the specific sign that you are going to have. This is going to be so beautiful and so unique to you. This sign that you are going to have is just going to remind you how interesting this life is because of the power of the actual synchronicity. And also, throughout the actual month of December, every single time that you see number 77777 repeating yet again, you just need to understand that this is going to be very important sign that it's going to be followed within the next couple of days, or it can happen within the next 5 minutes after that moment in time. But that sign is going to be connected to you, it's going to be connected to your path, but most importantly, it's going to answer the big question to you. Are you on the right path? Are you doing the right things in life? Are you doing the right thing, or are you focusing the right thing? Because this is also going to bring a really important answer. It looks like that you're going to stumble upon the situation this December where this is what I'm talking about. You must not let someone to take disadvantage from you, because you're going to stumble upon the situation this November when you're going to feel quite vulnerable, maybe a little bit emotional, confused, and because of your own goodness and because of your own purity, you just must kind of really understand to see that person through, because there is a hidden agenda that other person is going to have. And this is the reading that I started with, and please, I'm not trying to be dark or sad or oh my god scary. No baby, no. I'm just trying to open your eyes, and help you to realize things before they happen. But also on another hand, you will see exactly what doesn't make sense when someone kind of requires something from you, or someone come out with something to you. So it's all going to make sense, whatsoever. Number 78 in numerology, it's a very powerful number. And also, as I said, you need to understand that basically that you are going to have an absolutely mind-blowing moment of facing these difficulties that created so much negativity on your life, so much confusion, so much of the actual emotional confusion. And sometimes people don't realize, emotions are our feelings, emotions are our energy, emotions are part of us, which on another hand, kind of makes us to project a particular energy, and that energy can be really good, or that energy can be really uncertain. So whatever we project, we at the same time attract. So this is why it's really important to be on top of things. So throughout this month of December, you just think about yourself and pay attention to kind of you will see there are going to be bursts of this energy that you're going to feel oh my god, suddenly it's the time of awakening, baby, time of awakening. From the beginning of December, you will be able to feel this energy oh my god. And you know how it's going to reflect on you, this energy from the beginning beginning of December, you will want to kind of like do things that you wanted to do in a long time, and suddenly, you know, this negativity is going to be shifted, and this is what the month of December it's going to create, this absolutely wonderful fresh energy pool, which is going to give you very important chances to deal with those parts of your life that got stuck. There are 3 of them going to be quite significant in particular. So please, you know, when you feel this burst of like a really fresh and positive energy, and I'm talking about you feeling optimistic and inspired, you know, by your life yet again, that's why I'm saying is the time of awakening, because, you know, a lot was happening over the last 24 to 36 months that affected you, and now it looks like that you're just going to realize your own strength, you realize your own power, and that in itself is going to become your spiritual petrol, your energy, which is going to be keep on get you going. So you need to make the most of it when it comes to you really enjoying this vibration and energy. And you know, within the first week of December, this is going to be absolutely evident. You're going to surprise yourself like with the amount of energy that you are going to have in terms of wanting to really start moving on with your life, and you're going to feel like, oh, I don't want to wait for this, I don't want to wait for that, and you will see, and that in itself it's going to create a magical moment already within the first week of December 2021. But then on another hand, you need to understand to have patience, to be patient. You see, it's your temperance here, so it's all about this wonderful balance that you are going to have. The patience, you know, there is a very kind of specific part of your life that it's also kind of you're gonna realize that you just need to keep going, and this is pretty much so in terms of career, in terms of finances. You know, a lot is gonna be going on, but you just need to understand to remain on the same path, because you had the Sun card before, so that means that the success is coming, and it's not going to be that long. And look at this baby here. Look how many eyes. My gorgeous Virgolinis, you know, it's about you realizing, coming out of yourself, okay, living your life the way you need to live your life. This is going to be such an important moment energetically, because there was a lot that was holding you down. There was a lot lately that was preventing you to move on, and you're not the only sign that this happened, because of course there is a lot going on, and because you're so deep, you're so spiritual, you know, you feel things, you can sense things, and you can't help this, because, you know, from the moment you're born, you're just pretty much so very strongly an empath and psychic, pretty much so every single person is, but some signs are more than others, so you can't really help. But it looks like you're coming out of the... Oh, you see, even the kitty looks like that she's agreeing with us. Sorry, darling. Even like basically it is to do with the... I knew that I put it too close to me. But basically it's all about the actual... That's Coco here. It's all about the actual coming out of the self-imposed prison, but especially, you know, you've been affected over the last 10 months. And it was draining your energy, and then you will see how important it is that just to keep your head up and to absolutely keep going, ignore the like nastiness around you, maybe, you know, ignore the negativity around you, ignore things that don't make sense, because there is a lot that doesn't make sense, right? There is a lot going on right now that it doesn't make sense, but it's grabbing our attention. But this is all contributing towards the fact that we find ourselves in this bloody self-imposed prison. You see what am I talking about here? All this like, oh my God, you know, self-imposed prison. That's what I'm saying. I know that I said self-imposed prison, but it's all going to come from your emotions and feelings. And then at the same time, you see the inspiration, Ace of Coins, absolutely brilliant. You know, pay attention to the inspiration that you're actually going to have. You know, you will be able to use like the negativity and negative energy that was slowing you down to your own advantage, and that in itself, it's also going to inspire you so much. Ace of Coins, I mean, this is brilliant. It's all about the inspiration, going on the next step, but also focusing on things that you want to achieve. Pay attention to things that are on your mind when it comes to the actual ideas, because these little babies that are going to be on your mind, these ideas are also going to go really, really far, because it's happening right now. Just don't forget that I said that the month of December, no matter what's going on, no matter what's happening, happening. It's also like creating, it's also basically marking the end of the year. When that happens, the energy changes, and it's just karmically really kind of like enhances the certain parts of our life where we can actually make things happen quicker, make things happen sooner. And at the same time, we've got a control over a situation. That's exactly what you're going to have to deal with things in your life. So you are going to come out of the self-imposed prison, but especially you will see how much this was affecting you, how much this was making you feel really negative, how much this was actually affected your outlook, on life, So it's really important at the same time just to keep going. Communication, it's more important than ever, especially in between people, you and people in your life. People who are important to you are gonna have a quite important things to say to you this week as well. People who understand you, there is a one specific surprise that you're going to have, a blast from the past. Somebody's going to come through forward, and somebody's going to tell you something, and that in itself is going to really surprise you. But on another hand, it's also going to give you a mind-blowing idea, my gorgeous Virgolini, indeed. Number 78 means that you are going to find yourself like in explorative mode as well. But on another hand, just remember that this is the time to actually have success in the face of like a difficulties. But also on another hand, you must understand that especially after the 8th of December, you need to take action on your ideas, because you're going to become aware of the fact that life is actually pretty much so moving ahead. So this is important, my gorgeous Virgolini, because this is all about you expanding your ideas, but also on another hand finally doing something about it, because you have been talking quite a lot. You want to do this, you want to do that, but now it's time for action. No matter what, you need to find that path. You need to find that way. Once you find that path, once you find that way, nothing is going to lead you astray from it. So this is why this is so important. It is your own power. You give yourself your own power. You enhance your own power by believing in things that you do, but also making that first move. It is the spiritual key that you're gonna benefit from, which means that your intuition is gonna be like a mind-blowing big mama, throughout the actual months of December 2021. So this is why this is all going to be so important, my gorgeous Virgolinis, indeed. Just remember, this is the time of expansion of ideas, indeed, because it is going to bring you an important growth. But also on another hand, I just I'm gonna remind you that someone is gonna try to take an advantage of you, and just remember that you will click something. It's not going to be quite right. So what your original plan was or something like that, somebody's going to try to kind of temper with. So you just have to stick to your original plan, because you're absolutely right. So this is something that I need you to remember, my gorgeous Virgolinis. It's very, very important indeed. On another hand, what I really like also, things that you have been working on and things that you have been trying to achieve, in particular when it comes to the last 6 months. Also, there is going to be some kind of phone call or message that you are going to have, and what you're going to receive, the actual message, my gorgeous Virgolini, it's about the things, this is about your personal success. This is about the things that you have been working on. This is about your own accomplishment, but it's also about like a very kind of negative part of your life, because you have found yourself in this element where you were looking at things like a little bit negatively, and then on another hand, it just affected your way of planning when it comes to your future. But this is natural, and it does happen indeed. But on another hand, it is just basically the part of your life that was very slow when it comes to accomplishment. Enough wasn't happening enough when it comes to you and your feelings and your emotions about it. So this is why this is so important. That news that you're going to have, it's about the actual gain. It's about your personal advancement. It's something that you expected, but you didn't expect it so early. So this is why this is going to be so important. On another hand, this is going to be super significant when it comes to like realizing certain desires and ideas. This in itself, there are certain ideas that you are going to have at the same time, certain desires that you're going to have at the same time, and you are at that moment in time going to plant a really important spiritual seed in your mind, baby, whether you understand this or not, because you're going to start something here, certain progress, moving on, baby. But on another hand, the 21st and the 22nd and the 23rd of April 2022, this is when things are going to blow up. This is when things are going to become remarkable, and it's complete correlation with what's happening right now about that spiritual seed that I'm talking about. You're going to begin something, you're going to start something in your mind, but it's going to be so powerful that it's going to go through like so many dimensions, and it's going to bounce back so powerfully. And by the time you get to the 21st, 22nd, 23rd of April 2022, this is when you're going to be able to notice this like, ooh la la, baby, a beautiful outcome of what I was talking about. But just remember that you are gonna recognize really special abilities, really important abilities of yours that you should pay attention to at around the actual 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th of December 2021. So this is really important, because on another hand, you know, you will not know what to do because a lot is going to be on your mind. But then again, somebody who's like very close to you, somebody who's really important to you, somebody who's really significant to you, somebody who means to you so much, it's actually going to be playing an important role here, and they are going to give you some kind of advice, very interesting advice, and that's exactly how you're going to feel. Oh, interesting advice. You see what I mean? So this is why this is so important. On another hand, you know, what else it's going to be really kind of like significant when it comes to this month, you know. Also, when you get that interesting advice that I was talking about, sorry, that advice is going to kind of like help you so much, because you're going to be able to understand a certain specific part of your life that you couldn't understand. And this is why people in our lives are so sacred and so important, because they see things sometimes that we don't necessarily see about ourselves. But this is all part of this complex spiritual situation that I'm talking about. That interesting advice that I just mentioned, it's actually connected to also, it's going to help you with the difficulties in launching new projects, you know, so much. That particular interesting advice is going to like really help you so much with the difficulties when it comes to launching new projects and things like that. On another hand, you know, I do like it so much because the December is finally going to bring you really victorious moment in time. You're going to feel something that you didn't feel in a while, for a long time, and that is going to rejuvenate you, the right moment in time, and that in itself is going to point you towards a certain part of your life that you should be paying attention to, and another part of your life that you need to make an important readjustment, because this is going to lead towards you by the end of the actual December 2021 realizing exactly like, oh my god, within the last 7 days in December, you will realize how much the actual priorities are changing in your life, and you only need to do what you want to do. You only need to do what you feel like doing, and you only need to do those things that make sense to you. It is not a great month to just like kind of come up with some kind of idea and then go ask Jane, ask George, ask John, ask Michael, ask Maria. You know, no baby, no. It is the time like for you to deal with your own feelings and emotions, because you have got all the answers within. And if you go around and ask like too many people, what do you think about this, what do you think about that? No baby, no, because then you just lose yourself in all this, and that's not good, because you're gonna have to, like, in order to karmically get back to this level, to this stage, you're going to have to go over in order to learn the necessary lesson in life, karmic lesson, but also to give a chance to your spirit to grow, to go on the next stage. Very important indeed. I really like it because there is a victorious moment that you are going to have, and the victorious moment, it's all about your own stability. If you felt like, oh my god, not really stable and things like that, especially when it comes to the last 9 to 10 months, you know, now this is all the time of the stability through your own victory. But at the same time, you need to pay attention to the actual the fact that you're gonna become aware of like a little bit of unknown danger. And then at the same time, this unknown danger that you're gonna become aware of, this is nothing what I spoke about when I started this reading. It was completely different. But now also there is going to be like, you will become aware of the like a hidden danger, but this is nothing to do with you, nothing to do with the people in your life, nothing to do with the people who mean to you so much and things like that, but it's to do with like maybe somebody on the outside, maybe one person or a group of people. You're just going to become aware of this devilish person or a devilish group of people, and it's just going to make you wonder. On one hand, you're going to be really blown away. You're not going to be able to believe that some people can act in a very strange and bizarre way, but on another hand, you're going to become so much wiser, because you will be aware of that there is something is not quite right. Something is just not quite right whatsoever. Trust your instincts and follow your own light. This is important, because when it comes to you being super wise, when it comes to being psychic, most certainly December is going to be big mama months throughout this actual month. So you will be awake to unknown dangers, but then again, it's all about this absolutely wonderful confirmation that you're going to have at the same time. This is going to throw you back a little bit, because you're going to just really think that that there are not only humans on this earth, that we are sharing this earth with like some kind of other species, that are like humans, but they're not really humans, it's like that type of thing, and you are absolutely right, my gorgeous Virgolini, just sometimes crazy things are true, sometimes crazy things are reality, and this is what's happening, this is what's going to happen to you right now. So it doesn't really matter, it's going to lead towards you having a very kind of hermit momento, hermit moment. This is the time of the self-illumination, but the sacred knowledge that you are going to have, that in itself, it's going to illuminate your own path, which is on another hand going to help you to realize something very important. It's going to come to the surface when it comes to what you're in self-denial about. This is very important, because this is all about you being honest with yourself, because you have been putting something aside, but now you can't just keep on putting things aside for too long. It is to do with your own path, and it's to do with your own plans, it's to do with your own future, but it's also to do with like making a really big step. You don't need to make a huge, massive, big, enormous step right now, but it's all about you just finding on that path and beginning, starting, keep going. It's very important to keep moving and keep going, my gorgeous Virgolini, now more than ever, because that in itself, what you're in self-denial about, it's also going to be directly connected to your own accomplishment, later on, and it's going to cause from you to more explore, an additional exploration. It's going to be absolutely super significant when it comes to this. You will see exactly what I'm talking about. But on another hand, it's about you basically just making a really great accomplishment in your life. This is all what this is all about. When it comes to the actual health, my gorgeous Virgolini, December, it's all about you realizing that your digestion and your stomach is going to be quite sensitive, so just make sure that you're drinking as much water as you can, make it throughout the months. Make sure that you are basically avoiding like sugar, and how much I dislike sugar. I think sugar is vile, like literally vile. Some people don't understand how bad this is, and so I highly recommend you to kind of cut out sugar completely out of your diet if you didn't hear me saying this before. But also on another hand, if you can, use like organic maple syrup or organic honey. I already mentioned that using organic honey, it's very difficult to find like a normal honey nowadays, because they are just mixing it up with all sorts of nonsense, all sorts of rubbish. You get this vile creamy thing, and it's like, no baby, no. So if some local beekeeper, it's great, so it's a pure honey, but otherwise it's getting very difficult. Yeah, it's true. So it's either organic honey if the sources, or organic maple syrup I would use, because it's going to be super beneficial for your digestion, but also at the same time get a natural dose of B vitamins. And also you need to make sure you can take this the first thing in the morning. It's brilliant. It works really brilliantly because it also boosts your energy. But on another hand, you need to make sure if you get a natural B vitamin complex to make sure that B12, it's made in a natural way, methylcobalamin. It's called a natural version of B B vitamin, okay? There are a few different versions. There are chemical versions and natural versions. So you need to make sure that B12 is made in a natural way, and also folic acid needs to be made in as in a folate. It's called folate. It's a natural version of folic acid. So this is something that is going to be beneficial for your entire digestive system, and it's going to boost your energy. And on another hand, I would also highly suggest you to get something like organic acerola cherry powder, or organic acerola cherry capsules, or organic camu camu powder, or organic camu camu capsules, and to take this every single day alongside natural vitamin D3 and natural zinc. So organic camu camu powder capsules, organic or acerola cherry powder capsules, these are both similar supplements which are completely powerful when it comes to its vitamin C content, and it's natural. And with the combination of vitamin D3 and natural zinc, it's like a really great to boost your immune system. And I would take this every single day. Very important indeed. If you're on any other medications, if you are pregnant, or if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor. You just need to check with your GP. Only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications, my gorgeous Virgolinis, or not. So now going on the very first date, that is going to be quite important. But before I go there, I would highly recommend you to get something like a natural chakra pendant. Is like a must pendant to wear in December, January and February, purely because it's going to boost your energy, it's going to make you think clear, it's going to help you to see things clear for what they are, it's going to help you to read in between the lines, it's going to help you to boost your energy, it's going to have a wonderful impact on your grounding. And it's also most important, like when you're doing important things and dealing with important issues and dealing with important people, this really helps you with communication so much. So therefore, every time when you're dealing with something important and you need just a little bit of like a Vavavumish energy, then you just get like this chakra pendant. This gorgeous chakra pendant comes with a sterling silver setting and the sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, my gorgeous Virgolini, you're also supporting my channel as well. So it's the 1st, 2nd and the 3rd of December. It's gonna be like, oh my god. On the 1st of December, it's something already going to be on your mind. You know, the very first thing, 1st and 2nd of December, you just please pay attention to something is going to be persistently on your mind. Something is constantly going to be on your mind, and this is going to be a great sign of your own awakening. This is yet again going to happen in between the 11th and the 17th of December. Just pay attention to what is really constantly on your mind, and this is going to be rejuvenating you every single time, you know, when you think about it. So this is going to be a very strong sign in itself. By the time you get to the actual 3rd of December, you know, very kind of unusual situation is going to happen. Something really weird is going to happen. Something really unusual is going to happen, and you may not even realize how weird this is. Then it's just going to take place like almost immediately when you least expect it, and then you're just going to be thrown back a little bit, but then a few days later you're going to be like, oh my god, that was so weird. But most importantly, you are going to pretty much so respond to some kind of very important problem and very important issue in a way that you wouldn't normally respond alike, and that is just going to come from the deepest part of your subconscious mind. It's all about your wheel of fortune moment that you're going to have at the same time, which is on one hand going to help you realize an important conclusion, but on another hand, most importantly, you will start seeing things through for what they are when it comes to approaching the end of the problem. And this is so important because that problem was just draining you so much. It was draining your energy in so many different ways, and it caused so much of the emotional confusion, especially when it comes to the actual last 5 months indeed. Just remember that on another hand, you know, cooperation is very important. The more you cooperate, the more harmony you're going to have. And on another hand, the 1st, 2nd and the 3rd of December are also going to be an important time when it comes to your own devotion. The more you and from the 3rd of December onwards, especially from the 3rd of December onwards, you need to understand that your power of creation is going to be mind-blowing. The power of your mind is going to be mind-blowing. It's not going to seem like that the way it is, but when it comes to manifestation, situation, my Lord, this is the time to most certainly think optimistically and be as optimistic as you possibly can. And from the 3rd of December, you need to put as more energy towards things that you're devoted about as much as you can. Please, please, please. You know, I'm not saying, oh God, it's a sense of emergency. No, but later on, this is going to bring you a great pleasure into your life. So offering services and efforts towards a very, very specific goal, not just one, but few of them, you know. So this is very, very important time for you indeed. And also the 1st, 2nd, and the 3rd of December, I really like this because it's all about the end of the situation that is about to bring you really a relief, you know. It's something that you did like not that long ago, but you were worrying so much, oh my God, did I do the right thing? And of course you did. So this is going to be very important outcome that you are going to have. The second important date, my gorgeous Virgolini, before I go there, I would highly recommend you to get Black Obsidian. December and January in particular are important when it comes to protecting our energy from the negativity, negative people, evil eyes. You know, sometimes people can give us an evil eye, you know. We're not, and they don't try to be like intentional or anything. It depends what's going on in their lives, and it depends how vulnerable we are. So every time when you feel spaced out in December and January in particular, every time when you deal with people that are weird, every time when you deal with people that are draining your energy, every time when you're lost a little bit, the Black Obsidian is brilliant because it brings you back down and it helps you be really sharp. This Black Obsidian comes with a sterling silver setting and the sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, my gorgeous Virgolini, you're also supporting my channel as well. So now the second date that I was going to recommend to you, it's actually going to be... Of course, I dropped my cards, I've dropped my cards. Sorry, my gorgeous Virgolinis, that's keep on happening to me. Like, I'm keep on dropping my cards, I'm sorry. And now, basically, you know, it's important for you to remember 11th of December is going to be a big mama. You will feel something so weird, you know, but in a good way. You will want to... you will feel very spiritual on the 11th of December. You will feel very spiritual. So don't be surprised if like you kind of feel like there is somebody with you, that there is somebody around you, because some kind of spirit is going to make themselves known. But at the same time, just remember that you know, entity or spirit that you're going to feel and have, it's going to be there to remind you to not to rush with anything, you know, because you will change your mind, you know. So this is very important to say. I do apologize. I'm keep on doing these weird things lately, but this is very important for you to remember. So the 11th of December, you're also going to have, my God, the 11th of December, it's also going to bring you an important sign that you're making a really great progress, you know. And this is significant because it's to do with the hard work. Now this in itself, it's just like a one sign. It's going to be like a take, you know, one step at a time. But then on another hand, you know, it's also another sign that you are going to have. It's also going to be very important that you are. So on one hand, it's like take one step at a time. But on another hand, you're making a really important progress, but don't kind of rush with anything or anything like that. Very important indeed. You are making an important progress. This is so significant, you know. It's to do with your financial situation, things that you were doing, but also at the same time, it's more about the realization, the results of efforts. Very important. Efforts are nearly due, and this is going to mean to you so much more than anything else, because later on you will know that there is going to be a very, very successful dealing that is going to be connected to this. Now the 11th of December, it's also going to bring you great determination, initiative, strength, you know, and also very deep emotional feeling, you know, and that in itself, it's just going to pretty much going to open your eyes, and it's also going to make you realize that there is a really interesting challenge ahead. But that challenge is part of you and part of your spiritual journey and part of what you should most certainly do. But you just have to trust yourself, because it's going to take your life on an advanced stage. But also on another hand, just remember that, you know, there may be a little bit of lack of understanding that you're going to feel about it, but you're going to feel very strongly like you want to do it. And most certainly you should just basically go for it. It is very important to mention that that, working as a part of the team, talking, communication is going to be very, very important, like in so many different ways, and focusing on like a career, focusing on finances, and focusing on your next stage, of your life. It's going to be absolutely evident here, my gorgeous Virgolinis, you see. So now also 11th of December, you see this very great success, absolutely brilliant, and I'm so happy for you. It's all about the return of balance. It's all about accomplishment, great accomplishment. And you're also going to be wondering when it comes to the next stage of your life, yes or no, yes or no, shall I do, shall I? And the answer is of course yes, but this is to do with your future. It's to do with your future planning, and it's also to do with you having a leap of faith and trusting yourself and ignoring negativity. This is the negativity that I was saying about before, talking about before, that you must not let affect you. The third important date, my gorgeous Virgolini, it's going to be on the 27th of December. This is a very important date when it comes to somebody very faithful to you, somebody very loyal to you, somebody very important to you, somebody very consistent in your life, who is actually going to play a very specific role when it comes to you having an important news, and they will kind of like play an important role when it comes to you investing in a very specific and particular part of your life. And this is important because it's going to put you off from the other path that you were thinking about. There are two different things that you will be kind of thinking about, but that person is going to help you to change your mind, and it's going to be brilliant, because as soon as you kind of like start thinking in this particular way, you're going to become aware of the certain deception, you're going to be become aware of the certain dishonesty and bad influence and insincerity here. So that's why you must kind of like pay attention to not to let to be having an advantage taken off. Very important indeed. On a happier note, the 27th of December, it's actually going to bring you, my God, really important moment, of hope, faith, inspiration. When it comes to the bright prospects of your life, they're going to be shining rather brightly, and you will feel emotions and feelings that you didn't feel in a long time, and this is going to rejuvenate you so beautifully, and it's going to make you feel really optimistic. On another hand, the 27th of December, it's also going to bring you, my God, what a month, an important omen. The omen that you are going to have on the 27th of December, but it could happen on from the 27th of December until the end of that month of December. The omen that you're going to have, it's going to come in the form of a cat, in the form of a dog, in a form of a bird. It really depends, but you will know that that animal is sharing your energy, and you will know that they're having like a really important message for you. And the message, when you see that good omen, an important omen in between the 27th and the end of that month, it just means that you it's going to remind you that you have got a very special ability to learn something quickly, very quickly indeed. So you need to pay attention to what was on your mind, and then on another hand, you need to understand to stay committed to the task at hand, because this is also an important omen, just to stay on your path and keep going. Which means that you're going to be like, oh God, you're now a little bit uncertain. And this is why this omen is going to manifest itself, because the 27th of December, it's going to also create a really fresh new start when it comes to the end of delays. This is going to be connected to a very important and unexpected progress, but on another hand, it's to do with a positive change in your life. Very important month, my gorgeous Virgolinis, indeed. So now I'm just going to see what to pay attention to in the first part of December, mid part of December, and the last part of December. The first part of December, just remember that there are going to be lots of brilliant epiphanies that you are going to have, and they are going to lead towards some really absolutely marvelous opportunities. So you need to understand that the plans that you're going to have in your mind, what I was talking about before, are also at the same time going to work out perfectly, as long as you got with this vibration, with this energy at this very moment in time. The mid part of December, there is going to be very important recovery happening. The negative energy is about to shift, and most certainly you are going to be able to notice this. Pay attention to what is on your mind when you're trying to chill out, what is persistently keep on coming back into your mind when you're kind of meditating, or you're relaxing or chilling out, because your connection is going to be very strong. There are lots of insights that you are going to have, and some of them are going to be like, oh my God, you're going to become aware of your own power, of your own wiseness, happiness to a very high extent here. The last part of December, it's all about you understanding that the more you do what you love, the biggest recognition it's going to be later on. Just remember this. Supercharged time when it comes to karma. Indeed. Okay, so now my gorgeous Virgolini, I'm just going to see what is going to happen to those of you who are in relationship in December. Oh my God, this is brilliant, you know, brilliant progress. It looks like you have both been waiting for this moment in time. It looks like you were scared, you know, maybe something scared you and something made you feel really negative and something slowed you down. Maybe a little bit more you than your partner or the other way around, but then you were just bringing yourself down a little bit and you were preventing yourself from moving on. Now this energy is about to shift and you're going to get a very important message, and that message is not only going to open your eyes, but it's also going to give you so much of a vava-vumish feeling when it comes to inspiration, when it comes to feeling very vividly what your future will be, what your future can be, and that is going to be absolutely undeniable. It looks like you're going to make a really big plan when it comes to your future, when it comes to changes. You know, this is going to bring you remarkable like a financial security, and it's going to make your life so much happier, so much better. But on another hand, you know, there is a very important family matter that you're gonna be dealing with this month as well. Okay, so on another hand, when it comes to those of you that are single and ready to mingy, my gorgeous Virgolinis, you know, it's gonna be a couple of stages for you as well. Very interesting how many people are actually going to have a couple of stages this month, which means that karmically you have either kind of fancying someone or liking someone who you shouldn't, and it was good for like a week or two, and then after that you're just like, oh no baby, no, something just went wrong, something just went wrong, and this is because karmically this is not the right person for you. It's maybe somebody who you just saw and thought, hello my gorgeous, you know, or maybe it was like somebody who you had a bit of a stranger in the night, Virgolini in the morning, na 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 na, stranger in the night, Virgolini in the morning. Behave, Virgolini, behave. But basically, yeah, however it is, you need to understand that this is somebody, this person is not meant to be with you, but there is a very important lesson for you, something so precious that you're going to learn about yourself, because you will very quickly realize that this is not someone who you want to be with, but the lesson that you're going to have out of it is like, oh my God, absolutely mind-blowing. So you need to let someone go. Maybe you just had a kissy, maybe you just saw each other, you know, it doesn't matter how deep this actually went, but it's all about you releasing that person. It's very important indeed. And then that's in the first part of December. Then the last part of December, it's all about you being creative. You're gonna find yourself being full of energy. You're gonna find yourself being really creative, and that in itself is going to start the process of transformation, and you will be kind of like doing quite a lot. And there is an idea that is going to come to you. That idea that is going to come to you, it's going to require from you to do something different every single day. It's going to be required from you to do something different. That is going to bring you the very important spiritual key, where this other person, somebody very significant who is about to walk into your life, it's going to come to you with this particular change. There is one change that you're going to make that it's going to change every single day that you do. Maybe you will go somewhere different. Maybe you will change the time that you go somewhere. It's going to be different time. Whatever you do, it's going to clock. It's going to start this spiritual clock. It's going to start this spiritual domino, and that in itself is going to be very strongly connected to somebody very significant who is about to walk into your life, and it's not even going to be that long whatsoever. Okay, my gorgeous Virgolinis, I love you all so much. Okay. Well, I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof. Her beauty and the moonlight overthrew ya. She tied you to her kitchen chair. She broke your throne and she cut your hair. And from your lips she drew the hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I love you, Virgos. I love you so much. Peace.